The Neo Babylonian Empire. After the fall of Nineveh, the Babylonians once again took control of Mesopotamia. They established a new empire, the Neo Babylonian Empire. Neo means new. The new empire's most famous king was Nebuchadrezzar I. A ruthless military leader, he reigned from 605 to 562 BCE. Nebuchadrezzar expanded his empire whenever he could. He drove the Egyptians out of Syria. He also conquered part of Canaan, present-day Israel, the home of the Israelites, or Jews. When the Israelites rebelled, he took most of them captive and brought them to Babylonia. Many of them were never able to return to their homeland. As a military leader, Nebuchadrezzar knew it was important to keep the capital city of Babylon safe. He had an inner wall and an outer wall built around the city. These walls were so thick that 2 chariots could pass each other on top of them. Towers for archers to stand on were placed on the walls. Finally, a moat was dug around the outer wall and filled with water. During peacetime, people used bridges to cross the moat and enter the city. In times of war, the bridges were dismantled. Nebuchadrezzar worked hard to restore the splendor that Babylon had enjoyed under Hammurabi. From 605 to 562 BCE, he rebuilt the city Ziggurat. This huge structure was several stories high. The Babylonians called it the House of the Platform of Heaven and Earth. Nebuchadrezzar decorated his palace with lush gardens. The gardens were planted on rooftops and tall terraces so the greenery would cascade down the walls. A watering system kept the plantings fresh and green. These hanging gardens of Babylon became famous. This human-made display was viewed as one of the great wonders of the ancient world. The Babylonians were also skilled in mathematics and astronomy. They created the first sundial, a device that uses the sun to tell time. They made discoveries that led to our present-day system of a 60-minute hour and a 7-day week. The Neo-Babylonian Empire lasted only 75 years. Then, in 539 BCE, a new conqueror named Cyrus swept into Babylon from the east. He was the leader of the Persian Empire. The Persians came from the land we now call Iran. For about 200 years, they ruled the most powerful empire in the world. Then, the Persians were conquered by a man named Alexander the Great.